hate this music, but this new vehicle, I can't figure out how to even turn the volume down. Because you turn it, nothing happens, and there's no off button. So we gotta listen to this stupid slow jam. There's a huge convoy of power trucks on my way back I-75 from Miami towards Bonita Springs, Naples, Cape Coral. I'm going to be going through now, going back home. There's going to be a lot of support crew coming into that area, including me. I have bought a 14K inverter, air conditioner, another generator, leaves me with 3 generators, several gas cans. I can't stand this stupid, there, finally worked. Yeah, I hate this stupid radio, this all digital thing with only one knob. Anyway, I heard my house has maybe $5,000 in damage due to the soffits. So that also means my insulation in the attic got blown around. So I'll file an insurance claim with my insurance company. I've only paid 1 year on it, $1,000 premium in Northport, Florida, which is cheap because my house is structurally designed for hurricanes, so I get a big discount on insurance. But apparently my soffits are not designed for hurricanes. It's been pretty heavy traffic getting out of Fort Lauderdale, going towards back home. I also stocked up on a lot of non-perishable food. My property is not flooded, even though I'm waterfront property. It's rated 1 out of 10 FEMA flood zone hazard risk, and I knew that when I bought it. So that's why I'm 30 minutes away from the beach to get away from the flood zone. So I take personal responsibility, unlike those people who buy on the beach. It's simply not a good idea. Or those who buy much closer to the beach, closer to a river. I don't live on a river, I live on a canal that's navigable by a small boat. So I have 2 boats I strapped down. I'm going to check and see if the far left Democrat that lives next to me stayed in my house, and he doesn't even know how to operate a gas can or a generator. So he asked me to come home as soon as possible so I could run a generator to power the refrigerator. And I said, I don't really care about the refrigerator. He said, well, there's other reasons to come back too, to assess the damage, which he's right about that. So I'll go ahead and head home. Yeah, on my political platform, I claim to be Democratic, but I'm not. I'm not Republican or Democratic, but neither party has any chance of winning. So I'm not far left or far right. I'm not conservative. I'm not liberal. I'm not Republican. Not Democratic. I'm not even Green Party. Green Party has a lot of stuff I don't like. I am me. I'm the me party, which is altruistic, ironically, to help society better than all of those stupid parties can do. So we got a couple hours to go to get back home. Thought I'd show you that convoy of power trucks coming to the west side of Florida from the east side. And you missed a lot of them because I didn't start recording until after I passed several of them. There will be many of them coming that way. I'm going to guess my power is going to be out at least a week, possibly 3 weeks, even possibly a month. I doubt it, but could be. There's a lot of downed trees in that area, a lot of uprooted trees. My home was on the west left side of the Hurricane Eye, and so there's not a lot of damage to my home. So I got lucky. So I live on the west side of Port Charlotte Harbor, which is warm waters, and that's what the hurricane chose, is those warm waters. Some of the lessons I learned about this hurricane, especially if you're in a hot climate like Florida, is to do a tremendous amount of preparation and learn the basics of hurricanes, because you don't get a whole lot of warning that there's one headed your way, usually about 2 days. And that might sound like a lot of time, but it's really not, because if you don't have hurricane shutters and you don't know where you're going to end up going, and it's hot and humid as hell outside, because that's when the hurricanes hit, it can be quite miserable. Even if you have 2 days preparation, that's not going to be enough time, because it's hard work to get prepared in the hot and humid weather outside if you're dealing with your windows and tying things down and bringing things inside. If it's a feel-like temperature of 100 degrees, you got to go inside and take a shower every 30 minutes, then a couple days is not enough time. It was not for me. I thought I was prepared, but I was not. I even had almost all my shutters already on the windows before the warning, and it was still a challenge, because I have a huge house with 16 windows, at least 16 windows plus 2 sliding glass doors. That takes a lot of preparation. I have a lot of land that has lots of things on it I had to bring inside, lots of outdoor furniture. So it was quite an ordeal. I have 2 boats I had to tie down and pull. They have electric motors with lithium batteries. I had to get all that inside. That's a lot of work, and it was hot as hell outside. I ended up with a clothes basket full of clothing from taking showers all the time. The tolls are suspended on the way east to west as a courtesy of the state of Florida. So over the past several days, I've been staying in campgrounds, except one night I stayed at a hospital parking lot that was where the hospital was open 24/7, and I did that because I was under a tornado warning. Some other information. I don't like the culture in Miami. I've heard of it being a melting pot of different cultures, and the Democrats say that's just wonderful, but I side on Republicans with that. I'm not racist, but I'm culturalist. I really don't like the culture of Miami, white or black, or whatever races are there. I don't like that culture. In my opinion, they're really trashy, and they're weird as hell. Most of them are pretty nice, but it's just not my thing. I live in kind of a hillbilly area of redneck territory of Northport, Florida. They're typically northern transplants from New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania have populated Northport, and then they turn hillbilly because it's country. It's nothing like where they came from, so they kind of just turned into hillbillies. Hillbilly, not in the complete derogatory terminology, but rather they're well, they're just hillbilly, whatever that is. They're hillbilly. I come from a hillbilly family that used to be clean-cut Ohio, and then they turned hillbilly when they moved down to Texarkana. And half of that's okay, half of it to me isn't. I know if my Aunt Clara saw how we turned out, then she would not be happy with that. All right, so what else? The weather's pretty nice going back, except I'm going to be going against the wind because I'm at the south band of the Hurricane Ian. I'm actually in the hurricane, the south band of it going back. They call that a tropical storm. So I'm driving through a tropical storm. That's what all this wind resistance is, and you're hearing my engine rev. This is the non-turbo version. They have this in turbo, and I decline turbo because that's higher maintenance. I just got out of a Mercedes turbo diesel situation that seems cool but the maintenance is hell because few people are smart enough to work on a turbo diesel. It's really not that hard, it's just that few people are trained on it. I mean, just like most things are not hard, but you need some kind of training for it. The popular Hollywood beach in North Miami, it's beautiful there, but the culture is just absolutely horrible. I hate the people are nice, but they're just so damn trashy, just extremely trashy. Wow, my engine's really revving to get through this wind because I have a high roof transit van. It's very, very tall, so the wind is pushing on it. It's aerodynamic, but not enough. Look at that antenna. I don't really like that external antenna. The Sprinter versus Transit, they both have huge pros and cons. Here's a couple more service vehicles coming to help. So they're probably subcontracted Robert Henry Corporation. They're going to get paid by the taxpayers. Emergency response team. Dang, I'm really having to get the RPMs up. Well, I am going about 80. This one goes about 100 miles an hour. That's very fast for a high roof van. The Sprinter tops out at 80 miles per hour. So this is nearly 25-30% faster than the Sprinter van, and it is not turbo. But this thing gets up and goes for non-turbo. Turbo, I guess, gets slightly better fuel economy. This one I have a performance muffler installed. I just put that in. You're looking through illegal tint. This is tinted at 30%. You're not allowed to do that to a windshield, but I did it anyway because I have an eye condition where the sun kind of hurts my eyes, and I couldn't get a doctor prescription. So, the hell with them. I'll go ahead and just get the window tinted. Side windows you can tint 30% in Florida, but not the front window. So I had to pay them a couple $100 cash, no receipt, in order to get that done. Kind of like hush. We both just don't say anything about it. It's been a fun vacation for the most part. When I first took off, it was difficult for me to adapt because of the stress of not knowing what's going on. And then I started going to some recreation areas that were quite a lot of fun. Alright, so since this is not the safest thing to do, I'm going to stop this and put it up on YouTube as I'm driving back.